Thank you for joining us on this edition of the show. The African continent is blessed with arable land and can indeed evolve as a food basket of the world if things are done correctly. The big question is, how can technology help make a difference in the sector? Today, I chat with an Agritech founder on ways technology can help. We have much more lined up for you right after now. I am Chukwemeka Agbata, and this is Tech Trends.
Our healthcare system has seen some of the greatest achievements of the human intellect since we started recording history. We're developing incredible devices and implantables to improve the quantity and quality of people's lives.
Health experts say that approximately 80% of women who have periods experience menstrual pain at some point in their lifetime, particularly on day 1 of menstruation. Oftentimes, to douse the pain they're feeling, women turn to painkillers, alcohol, or make use of hot water bottles. Abigail Ogunyemi, CEO of Melopads, is a young Nigerian seeking to redefine the approach to healthcare in Africa by promoting happy periods through technology for women. For someone who used to have chronic menstrual cramps, she decided to create a device to relieve women from the pain.
I decided to innovate on the use of hot water bottles instead of using, those bottled waters we get on the street. We evaluated these existing coping mechanisms and tried to see, okay, what works, what doesn't work. Hot waters work, and it's sustainable, and it's also eco-friendly because, we prevent the plastic waste that occurs when we use too much plastic bottles, and also, the skin scalding. So I think those were the things I took into consideration. And on one of those days when my mom was massaging my stomach with hot water bottles, I remember my phone vibrated and it was on my stomach, and the vibration from my phone it was kind of ticklish, but it felt good. It was able to distract me from the pain for a time being. And that was how I decided to research into the use of nerve stimulations, to cure pain. And I was able to, get some tangible information that actually proves the use of nerve stimulations as a way of reducing pain. So those were the two technologies we decided to, combine: heat therapy, nerve stimulations, and that was what we have embedded in the Melopads technology and also in the design.
Melopads is a wearable device used during menstruation to block pain through heat therapy and nerve stimulation. The aim is to help women who suffer from chronic menstrual cramps get relief without the use of drugs.
So the Melopads idea came to mind in 2018. It was my 19th birthday gifts, I would call it, because the idea came some 2 days before my birthday, and I was just thinking about it. But we didn't start production until 2021. So it was a major constraint trying to think about a technological product, given that I do not have any background or the skill to do this. However, I decided to, come home, try to look for people who can, because I know Nigeria has been making a lot of waves in the tech space, and I know there is definitely someone with the skills and talents that I need. And I found one through a referral from a friend. And he happens to be someone who is so passionate about, electronic device creation, So bringing my project to him, his name is Wale, by the way. And bringing my project to him gave him, a lot of excitement to work on something new, something related to women, making actual impact, So that was how I got my first team member, Wale. And as we progressed forward, we decided that, okay, there was a need for us to have a social media presence. And on one of our events, one of the exhibition shows we attended, we got Elizabeth Kisolo from Uganda, who had volunteered to, manage our social media presence for the time being.
The device is user-friendly, easy to carry, provides an almost instant relief from the pain, and lasts up to 12 hours when fully charged. Women can wrap the device around their lower abdomen and turn it on to feel its effect.
The Melopads is quite eco-conscious in what we do, and the long-term vision is to make this product to be solar-powered. However, the carton here is made from recycled papers, and we also have the device here made from microfiber, really soft and silky, really good on the skin too. It's just like a normal waist belt you find on the street and the superstores, and you just basically, through the use of this adjustable waist belt, strap it to your waist. Around it, and here there's like a space for you to, put this right here and adjust it, you see? Really easy to adjust. So right here, you have the device strapped to your waist, and I can put it on just using this device here. When I put it on once, when I click this once, rather, it gets on and it starts, getting warm. By the time I click it twice, I want it to get, hotter. And then by the third time, then I want to activate the nervous stimulation. And it also has the temperature sensors that actually regulate the heat it emits, as well as the stimulation sensors that you can use to adjust once in a while. It's quite a smart device, honestly, because of the sensors and some AI we have embedded in it. So it can be charged. There's a charging port just in here, just under the device right here. And once it's charged, say under 30 to 40 minutes, it can last up to 12 hours. And yeah, that's it. Really easy to use, convenience to use, actually. And as I said, it's quite slim, and I can just bring my clothes on it this way. It's really cool.
Many women live with the fear that every month they would experience discomfort caused by period cramps, but with individuals like Abigail taking advantage of technological advances to help women have a comfortable menstruation experience with the press of a button, women can go about their day pain-free.
With fuel price inflation causing such alarm in South Africa that the government and central bank have been taking action to soften the impact on consumers, Fazile Dlamini proposes an alternative solution, a three-wheel electric scooter. Dlamini is the founder and CEO of Green Scooter, which sells and leases the scooters and also provides so-called last-mile home delivery services to small businesses such as fast food outlets in Johannesburg's townships. The scooters, which resemble tuk-tuks with a stylized design of curved lines, are manufactured locally, with a Swedish firm acting as a technical partner.
Green Scooter started off as an idea back in 2015. The whole purpose of it, when I identified the problem, it was through what I call now divine intervention. It was solving the issue of first mile, last mile transportation in South Africa. And, well, not only South Africa, but Africa as a whole. The townships is a place for me that sits close to home, because when would the township ever have seen electric vehicles actually operating, where people can use the vehicles to generate an income and take more money back home because they don't have those fossil fuel troubles.
Petrol and diesel prices have gone up by a third in South Africa in the past 12 months and are forecast to accelerate further, prompting the Treasury to extend cuts in fuel levies and the central bank to raise interest rates. Green Scooter has sold or leased 60 vehicles since it launched in 2018, and the pace has accelerated in recent months as fuel prices have soared. Dlamini says his target was to reach 160 units by November. The scooters can be charged from ordinary electric sockets, which Dlamini says makes them practical as well as an environmentally friendly alternative to the motorbikes commonly used by other last-mile delivery operators.
Power is an issue. So it doesn't really directly affect me, but it does affect my sales, because when people think they'll have range anxiety, that, oh, what if I go to this place and there's no energy? So, I mean, when I built the business in survival mode. And I always encourage it with all of my clients, is that always think in survival mode in the event that you may not have power in a particular day, or look at an alternative. Some guys have purchased their own UPS, and you're charging in this particular unit, it's a 4 kilowatt battery. In our latest units are it's a 5.1 kilowatt hour battery. People are literally now using those, and they're taking power into their own hands, literally.
South Africa has struggled for several years with electricity shortages that sometimes result in load shedding or planned power cuts. Dlamini says electric scooter users could overcome this challenge by using uninterrupted power supply units, devices that can store electricity when the power is on for it to be used when it's off. He said his advice to his clients was to always think in survival mode and plan ahead for load shedding. The technology behind so-called deep-fake videos is helping boost the impact of a new generation of adverts for missing people. When displayed on a digital billboard, the new ads feature the missing person's picture moving from side to side and smiling, created using artificial intelligence.
It was very disconcerting to see Leah looking at us and looking around. People watching was one of her favourite things to do, me and her, when we were out shopping, and it just felt like she was there with me.
Leah disappeared in February 2019 at the age of 19 from Milton Keyes in Buckinghamshire.
It's the not knowing that absolutely kills you inside, and you just move from one day to the next hoping to find that one piece of information that will bring her home to us, whatever that information is.
The new posters are designed to be more eye-catching, clearer, and draw on behavioral science to make more impact, featuring less text and replacing the word missing with help find.
In fact, there's good research that actually shows in behavioral psychology that making a message more active rather than passive can be a good way to optimize its influence, particularly when we are essentially just trying to compete for that immediate piece of attention. We might only get a second or two to kind of capture someone's attention and get them orientated towards our message. So making them more active rather than passive is going to be really important.
A reported 70,000 children go missing every year in the UK alone, and while most return home within 48 hours, some don't.
We think that the digital billboards are an amazing way to really engage members of the public. And of course, with the issue of missing, it's so critical that passers-by, people think about where they might have seen a missing person or if they've got any information. And the digital screens use really clever technology, but based on a really basic human psychology around connecting with another human being. And we know that eyes following you, a smile, an animated person is difficult to walk past. And we think that the new digital images are really arresting and be very difficult and stop you right in your tracks, I think, to see the image of a missing person, missing child, looking down on you and hoping that we can help them be reunited with their family.
The new poster design also features a QR code that links to the missing person's website, and the background includes a map of where they were last seen.
Agritech is one space that's proven to be the next big thing for startups. With the application of various technological innovations to improve efficiency and output, a number of agritech startups are creating solutions to eliminate farm losses. Agritech, which is the use of technology in agriculture, horticulture and aquaculture to improve yield and profitability, has helped optimize the farming process. In Nigeria, agritech startups have continued to tackle some of the challenges farmers face by streamlining the agricultural value chain. However, more needs to be done to make the process easier and provide the necessary support to scale. Comfort Onyaga, founder of Izanu Africa, discusses how we can leverage technology to build a viable agricultural sector.
Comfort, glad to have you on Tech Trends today. Yeah, it's my pleasure, CFA. Good afternoon.
Okay, so let's start by understanding how blurred the line between technology and the agricultural industry has become today.
Yeah, thank you very much. So when you talk about technology and the agricultural industry, especially the ecosystem in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole, right? The line is very, very blurred. Like it is very blurred in the sense that we do not have the technological infrastructure in Nigeria sufficient enough to drive the agricultural sector and ensure the optimization of the value chain. So especially in the rural community where most of the agricultural activity takes place. So it's not enough for us to say we have a proliferation of the Agritech company springing up here and there at the rate of, let me say, 110%. Yeah, it's happening, but the line is still really blurred because of lack of policy implementation. We do not have the infrastructure. Advocacy is happening, but it's not enough. How concerted are we? Is the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, working with stakeholders across the different segments of the agricultural value chain to ensure that technology is integrated into the agricultural space?
So that leads me to my next question, right? And we know how countries like Israel, even though they are smaller in size and population, have done well with agriculture. Do we have a national strategy that can help us maximize the role of technology in agriculture?
Yeah, just recently, sometime last year, in about October, November, the DG of the National Information Technology Development Agency launched the 10 years plan, the national strategy. There is a strategy, but the thing is, implementation is where it lies. So the strategies, is get towards ensuring that Nigeria becomes one of the top 3 countries in securing food, ensuring food sufficiency, and also driving export standard agricultural produce, leveraging the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, the borderless trade and all. The strategy is in place, but are the key players in the agricultural sector, right, carried along in ensuring that these strategies is implemented? Who do they know what their role is? Like I said, it requires a concerted effort. Having the strategy is not enough. If we do not make effort towards ensuring that we domesticate it, you just realize that the document become obsolete. It's just there, and we continue to play catch up with the 4th Industrial Revolution.
Based on what you have said, how do we really get more young people to be interested in the agricultural sector? Because sometimes when they hear about it, it seems like everyone has to go to the farm. But, try to explain to us what the value chain looks like in that sector.
Yeah, so the value chain is currently evolving with technological innovation, disruption here and there with the Internet of Things, AI, big data. So this is where the Gen Z and the millennials come in, to bridge that gap, because they are the ones that are digitally literate. So it also behoves the institutions to see how the capacity of the young people are built to be able to use this technology. So that in itself is not enough. So what are the incentives beyond making it attractive enough for the young people to come in? If I go into agriculture right now and leveraging technology to drive farming, that, beyond the fact that we have the ICT as a tool, we also have the other side of it that has to do with the mechanized farm equipment, the tools that are used hands on the farm. So as I speak with you currently, we're still in the old in the old practice and fashion where farmers still use their hands to cultivate. Like that labor is so tedious that young people don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'd rather be on the other side. So for the government to ensure that young people come into the space and act right, they have to bridge that infrastructural gap. Beyond ICT, we need mechanized farm equipment that will make agricultural farming exciting for my generation because agriculture is the way to go. Agriculture is the only sustainable means through which we can drive growth and economic development in Africa. Agriculture is the new oil money.
Okay, so what are some of the ways that big data, you mentioned IoT, how are they driving change in that industry?
Yeah, so it has actually gone a long way, you know, with Nigeria, Kenya, and Ghana as the top 3 countries in the Agritech space. You see, currently we have challenges, climate crisis and all. So with big data, Internet of Things, AI, artificial intelligence, right? We are able to harness data and drive insightful or what I call precision farming. So with this to include supply chain management. So, you know, there are different segments of the agricultural value chain. There's the supply chain bit of it. You require data to be able to drive that. And there is also climate smart irrigation. You know, holistically, data, this big data and introduction of an adoption of artificial intelligence has gone a long way to change the narrative and the landscape. It's not looking the same as it was even in 2015. And I believe it's going to get better. And this is the only way forward to guarantee food security in Africa.
So as an Agritech startup, what are the challenges you're facing today?
Yeah, the challenges I'm facing today is lack of infrastructure, technological infrastructure sufficient enough. When I say infrastructure, it's beyond IT, information and communication technology, especially for rural community where there's a low level of digital literacy among the farmers. And these farmers, I mean the smallholder farmers who constitute over 70% of the population of farmers in Nigeria. There's low digital literacy. There's no technological know-how. Even for mechanized farm equipment, they really do not know how to use it. So as a startup, we're having these challenges, and you know that would also increase our unit economics in a way because we have to work with agents to ensure that these services are delivered to them since they are not digitally literate enough to use these tools.
Okay, Comfort, finally, you mentioned it a bit, but I know that one of the challenges that you would face, you know, in this space is the issue of trust. How are you confronting that?
Yeah, so the issue of trust, especially in the aspect of service delivery and engagement with the key stakeholders, even in the land system, you know how people are afraid of even buying land or, you know, going to lease a land that is owned or fraughted with a lot of challenges, maybe communal or family issues, right? So we're working with the core stakeholders, which is the government. You know, we have the geographic information system offices domicile in most of the states. And we're also working to see that we work concertedly to adopt the right tool, the GIS tool, to ensure that even the landowner and the lessee, that's the user, right, are able to use that tool to ascertain the size of land. Then we could do our due diligence behind the scene and ensure that the right info, it is only land that is devoid of such issues and challenges people are afraid of that is listed on our platform. So that way we're buying down the risks for the land users.
Awesome, Comfort. It's so encouraging to see that you're a woman in technology trying to make a difference in the agricultural tech space. We wish you all the best. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for having me, CFA. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
I've been chatting with Comfort Onyaga, founder Izanu, who continues to build despite the challenges that startups like hers face. As she has stated, the industry certainly needs to be made more attractive for the younger generation. Now, if we want to build a more viable agricultural sector, then we have to invest massively in infrastructure, modern equipment, technology, and of course, security. That's our show for today. Remember, we live on social media at Tech Trends TV. You can watch these and previous editions of the show on Channels TV, YouTube, or cfablog.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.